Hello, my name is Kevin and this is Wine Me Up! Wine Me Up! Welcome to Wine Me Up episode 5, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different. As you know, if you've been watching the last 4 episodes, thought maybe you might get to know my little wine cellar, my very, very humble wine cellar. So in a minute, I'm going to take the camera off its stand and I'm going to hold the camera and show you some of the wines I've got, and you know, a quick sort of run around the wine cellar, tell you a little bit more about myself. Like I said, I'm not a wine expert by any stretch of the imagination. I have passed my WSET, which is the Wine and Spirits Education Trust exam, which I passed with distinction in April, I think it was, in 2022, or it might be January, if I can't remember, but I passed it anyway. I'm really proud of that. I was thinking about studying for the level 4, but realised it's probably going to be a bit too difficult for me, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's a lot of a commitment to that, but I would love to do it. But instead of that, I'm kind of helping myself learn a little bit more about wine by making these videos. So it's just about as much as me sort of cementing facts and figures in my head, you know, and learning about wine myself, you know. So anyway, I'm going to take this off the stand and I'm going to show you around my little wine cellar. So when I really first started getting into wine, my first love was Bordeaux. And I was reading a lot of the tasting notes of Robert Parker. I actually got Robert Parker's, one of his great books there, and just reading those tasting notes really sort of like, wow, I have to taste that wine, you know. I remember Lynch Bays being one of the first really, really big expensive wines that I bought and tasted back then. So that's really when I first got into wine, was Bordeaux. I used to smoke back in the day, 25, 30 years ago, and I decided I would give up smoking and buy a bottle of wine every month. So I bought a kind of expensive wine. But expensive to me back then was like £50 a bottle, £5.25 a bottle. And you could buy stuff like Kos. That cost me 500 or £50 a bottle. Les Forts. Les Forts. That was a present from my dear wife. 500 krona, £50 a bottle. That one I remember buying at auction. That one cost me 700 krona a bottle. But this is, I mean, this is so cheap, relatively. These days, these wines are just totally and utterly out of my price range. This wine here, for example, right? This is a second wine. Again, that was £50 a bottle. It's a second wine from Mouton Rocher, Le Petit. That's costing you over £200 a bottle today for the second wine, and the same for Les Forts. It's ridiculous. The prices have gone absolutely extreme. So haven't got many of those anymore. I've got a few Bordeaux here. The La Terre Carnet, got that one, 2019. Looking forward to that. I've got a couple of 2015s, Cetra Carmenzac, you know, Catamel, another fifth growth, 1855. Got a second wine from Kos. That's quite interesting, because that's only 400 krona a bottle, the second wine to the great Kos, so I'm quite interested in that. But anyway, these days, I've explained in the first video, I'm quite into my Brunellos. So I've got a little bit of a collection of Brunellos here. And some Banfi, El Poggiano, one of the great big boys, Lessini, fantastic. Angiano, if that's how you say it. Their 2018 vintage was the top wine of 2024, actually. And my latest sort of big boy is the Constante, which is really looking forward to that. My real big love these days is Nebbiolo. And this here is a representation of Elba. If you imagine Elba town being there, and then you got sort of up here to the right is Barbaresco, then there's Elba, and then you've got Barolo, which is why I got Barolos on this side, Pure Cesar, Barezzo, Gaia, yeah, Ratti, and Barbaresco's on this side. Fantastic. Now, while we're on the subject of Barbaresco, the Produttori da Barbaresco will definitely be doing a taste notes on some of those. That is a cooperation, and they just make unbelievably good wines. They really, really do. Definitely worth checking out, even though they're cooperation. But we'll get back to that another time. Corporations aren't normally what you equate with quality, but you do that. A few other wines here as well. And again, mostly Nebbiolos. PSE, Spanish wine there. You know, try and keep them grouped up. I did have quite a few Rhone wines here now, but I've kind of been drinking quite a lot of Rhone these days, so they've gone down now. This is a special Cuvée, only made in Denmark, I believe, from Gigal, 2010. That one is probably too old now, to be honest, because it's kind of like a Côte de Rhone, really, just their own blend. But yeah, got Bandel there as well. Got some Spanish wines down here. That's a second wine from oh, what are they called again? I can't remember. They're quite a big wine house in Mallorca. Some Ribeira de Dueros, Priorat, and I also love Chianti Classicos. Some Gran Selecciones there, some Antinores there, Fontodi, another huge house. In the Chianti, and probably my star wine of my wine cellar is my 2016 Tignonello. Oh, I love Tignonello, absolutely love it. Again, it's one of those wines that's just got ridiculously expensive. I actually bought that at the vineyard like 5 or 6 years ago, and it cost me £50 a bottle. That is, if you buy that today, that's like 1,200 kroner a bottle, or £120 a bottle. It's ridiculous, the prices of these things. Last year I visited the Alto Adige area, which is an absolute spectacular winemaking area. It's mostly white wine, but Pinot Noir here, or Pinot Nero for Franz Haas. He's one of the big names up there. And I also bought something that I've never seen anywhere other than up there, to be honest with you. La Graine. It's an interesting wine, that. Yeah, so that was a quick look around my wine cellar, and hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick little visit around so you can see what I've got. And I'll see you for episode 6 next week. Well, I think I'll be tasting a Chianti Classico.